Good afternoon and welcome to the White House. Well, you know, this is a special day. We're hosting another state visit. And one of the things that we really love to do when we have state visits is to invite you guys in so that you have a better sense of what happens in this place. Because we always give the press a preview, right? They want to know what we're serving and what the tables are going to look like, and this is what the tables are going to look like, so everybody take a look. But we also like to use it as an opportunity to educate you guys and give you a chance to be in on what's going to happen tonight, right? You guys live in Washington, you live in the Washington, D.C. area. You read about these state visits, but how often is it that you get a chance to get a little piece of it, right? So that's why all of the staff, everyone that works on the state dinners, this is really one of the best parts of the dinner, is inviting you guys in and letting you get a little peek. But let me just tell you about this visit. The president is hosting the leader of Germany, Chancellor Merkel, and this is an official visit, so it's something a little bit different from when a world leader just comes by and comes by the Oval Office. I mean, this is when we roll out the red carpet because we have a special relationship with the visiting country. And tonight is special because the president and I, in addition to hosting the chancellor and her husband, the president is going to give the chancellor the Medal of Freedom, which is the higher honor that any civilian can receive from the President of the United States. So that's pretty cool. She's really excited about that. And very few people from outside of our country have ever received this honor. Usually it's for people here in this country. But that's a testament to Chancellor Merkel's extraordinary life. And it's one of great service, not just to her country, but to the rest of the world. She grew up under communist rule in East Germany, back when Berlin was divided by the wall. And when the wall came down and her country reunited, she dedicated herself to public service. And she has been a leader in Germany's democracy more than 10 decades. So her career spans time longer than most of you all have been alive. And 6 years ago, she became the first East German and the first woman to serve as Germany's chancellor. And her life reminds us of the opportunity that women have to lead our governments and to strengthen our world. I mean, you look at someone as powerful and influential and as dedicated as Chancellor Merkel, and you're reminded that women are amazing, and they play a critical role in strengthening ties around the world. And it's not just women like Chancellor Merkel in other countries. We have some of our own powerhouses right here in the United States, people like Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, as well as United Nations Ambassador Susan Rice. They are working very hard in this country to foster ties with governments all around the world. So I want you all to know that no matter where you come from or what you look like or how much money your family may have, you can have a real impact on the world. And that's a message that we try to tell young people all across the world. I'm going to be traveling to Africa soon, spending time in South Africa and Botswana, working with young leaders and women leaders and delivering some of the same messages. And we're going to figure out ways for young girls like you all to be a part of that trip as well. But for now, it's time for me to turn it over to our special guest, Brooke Anderson, who's the Chief of Staff for the National Security Staff here at the White House. And Brooke is going to give you a few more of the details about the official visit. She is a great role model for all that young women can be, and a reminder of what you can do when you work hard at anything. And she loves doing this stuff as well. We're always grateful to have her on board. So I'm going to turn it over to Brooke, and then we'll get to try a little dessert and talk a little bit more amongst ourselves after these guys leave, okay? So with that, I'll turn it over to Brooke, and come and sit down. I'm sitting over here. Brooke, come on. Thank you so much.
Okay, I realize I'm between you and your dessert, so I will keep it short. First, good afternoon and welcome to the White House. It was the First Lady who came up with the idea of giving students like you the opportunity to be part of global events that take place right here in your own community. So please, let's give another round of applause for the First Lady. First, it's wonderful to have you all here. The National Security Staff is part of the White House, and it supports the President, the First Lady, the Vice President, on the whole range of security and foreign policy issues, like today's visit of Chancellor Merkel. On days like this, especially with state dinners, there's obviously a lot of attention on what happens in front of the cameras, how the two leaders interact with one another, who's coming to dinner, what they're wearing. Yeah, there's a lot of attention to what they're wearing. But there's a lot more that happens during a visit like this. So I thought I would give you a brief glimpse into some of the work behind the scenes and why this visit means so much to our two countries. The United States and Germany have a strong and deep relationship. Nearly 1/4 of Americans, maybe even some of your families, trace their ancestry to Germany. Every year, countless students from the United States in high school and college take the opportunity to live and study in Germany, as do many German students here. Many traditions and institutions that we think of as American, kindergarten, graduate degrees, even Christmas trees, have German origins. And German Americans, like Levi Strauss, have given us things that we can all be grateful for, like Levi's jeans. For more than 6 decades, our two countries have been strong allies. It started in the aftermath of World War II, it developed throughout the Cold War, and it grew stronger following the reunification of Germany. Today, the United States and Germany are allies in confronting challenges around the world. We work very closely with Germany. This is President Obama's 10th meeting with Chancellor Merkel. But today is special. This is the first official visit and state dinner for a European leader during his presidency. Germany and Chancellor Merkel are being recognized with this honor for a simple reason. Germany is one of our closest allies, and Chancellor Merkel is one of the President's closest partners on the world stage. On the National Security Staff, we've been working on this visit for a long, long time. The folks in our Europe office have been planning every detail, working closely with their German counterparts to prepare issues for discussion. Our team hasn't slept very much. They do all this work because these official visits and state dinners aren't just all pomp and circumstance. They're an opportunity to get important business done, and we want to make the most of the time that President Obama and Chancellor Merkel have together. The President and the Chancellor consult with each other on virtually every issue that our two countries face around the world. And the issues that they're addressing today, the global economy, the demands for democracy in the Middle East and North Africa, preventing the spread of nuclear weapons, these are issues that are going to shape our world and your lives for decades to come. And so it's very appropriate that you're part of this day. You're the generation that's going to carry on this work. But today's also special for another reason. As the First Lady said at tonight's state dinner, the President is going to present Chancellor Merkel with the Medal of Freedom. It's the highest honor a president can bestow on a civilian, and this is in recognition of the Chancellor's extraordinary life and leadership, which shows that every single one of us has the power to overcome whatever barriers might stand in the way. When she was your age, Chancellor Merkel lived in what was then communist East Germany, during the Cold War, behind the barbed wire of the Iron Curtain and the Berlin Wall. It was illegal for East Germans to travel to the West, and many died trying. As a university student, Angela Merkel wanted to study languages, but the government wouldn't let her follow her dream. She could watch TV shows from the West, and she could imagine what life was like in America, but she could only imagine. But she worked hard. She excelled in school, and then in 1989, when the Berlin Wall came down, Angela Merkel, like millions of others, could finally experience freedom. She was a physicist, but she decided to enter politics. And she broke barrier after barrier, becoming the first East German and the first woman to become the leader of Germany. In fact, she's often been called the most powerful woman in the world. Chancellor Merkel's story of hard work and determination has become an inspiration to people all over the world, men and women, but especially women, including me. When I was your age, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. I looked around and I saw things I didn't like in the world, injustices I wanted to change, problems that weren't being addressed, but I had no idea how. Then in college, I had an incredible opportunity, an internship at the United Nations in New York City. And I saw that there was a place where nations could come together and try to make the world a better, safer place. That's what sparked my interest in public service and diplomacy in particular. A few years ago, I was given another incredible opportunity to return to the United Nations, the place where I had my first internship, and serve as our ambassador representing our country. On occasion, when our Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, our UN Ambassador Susan Rice, and I were all together at a Security Council meeting, it was quite a sight. The top level of the US delegation, all women. It sent a pretty powerful message about the kind of country we are, a place where everyone can be given the opportunity to contribute and lead. In fact, a foreign diplomat said to me at one point, "Looking at your delegation, I see that we have more work to do in our own country." Well, we have a lot more work to do in our country and around the world to make sure every person is able to grow up in a world of security and peace and can realize their full potential. And each of you is going to be a part of making that world a reality. Back when I was your age, I never imagined serving at the White House. Back when she was your age, I doubt Angela Merkel ever imagined that she'd grow up to be the leader of a free and united Germany. And there's no telling where your talents will carry you in the decades to come. Perhaps one of you will be sitting behind that big desk in the Oval Office. But whatever your aspirations and whatever path you choose, I hope you'll remember this day and the lesson that no matter the walls or barriers that stand in your way, if you work hard and you dream big, you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brooke. Thank you for sharing that story. And now it's time for dessert, and we'll remove the podium, and then we'll talk some more. Okay?